Hello, we are back in the Star Studio. We got a great special guest with us today, man. Doing big things in the media industry, man. Can y'all please welcome the head of brand development for NJC Ventures, Mr. Omari Peggy Collins. Hello.
What's good? What's good? What's good, man? Thank y'all for having me today.
Man, thank you for joining us and sitting with us today, man. So you did a lot. So I need to hear your whole background. I need to hear how you even wound up and where you are right now. So I know you grew up in Charlotte.
Yeah.
How did your hometown lead you into what you're doing now?
From Charlotte, east side of Charlotte to be exact, man. I grew up um, with the background of people that were educators. So my grandfather was a math professor at John C. Smith. My grandmother, I didn't know her, but she was a teacher at Eastway, and she was a teacher at East Meck. I'm sorry, she was a teacher at East Meck. My mom, she was a teacher, and she still works in the school system after she retired. And then my dad, he was an activist. So my dad was the president of NAACP and Black Political Caucus, and he actually had a local show. Um, on TV called The Gotham Sophisticate about fashion and style. And so he was a wardrobe consultant. So that's a little bit of my background of how I came up, grew up in Charlotte, man, played sports. So I played basketball growing up, played football, ran track until about high school. And then that's when I started getting really active in school. So like student government, doing like the homecoming stuff and all of that type of stuff like that. So just being active in school, and then went off, spreading my wings, and went to college, North Carolina Central University
Okay.
in Durham, North Carolina, and after when I hit college, bro, it was just I really started walking into who I was gonna be. Like first year, Mr. Freshman, and like so when I say Mr., it's like the king of your class and like you pretty much do a lot of community service. You're the face of all the men in your class. So I was Mr. Freshman, Mr. Sophomore. Junior year, I started a show called Eagle Access. It was the first campus web series. So I was hosting that show. I did everything. I learned how to do shoot. That's when I learned how to shoot, edit, and host all in that year. And then my senior year, I went back to grab the crown and I became Mr. NCCU. And so, man, like that was amazing. So from interviews to photo shoots to going out in the community, speaking engagements. So it was a dope time in college, and so that's kind of
It was like the first taste of your future life.
correct. Yeah, it just kind of felt like that. It's like, bro, what is this preparing me for? But my college experience was super dope, and it really kind of prepared me for where I am now, and especially where I'm walking into.
Yeah. So tell me, what would you say? I guess I've never been to Charlotte. What would you say are the biggest differences between Charlotte and Atlanta?
Man, Charlotte, and Charlotte is new now. Like I'll go back to Charlotte. I'm like, bro, this don't even feel like home. I feel like a visitor back in Charlotte. So Charlotte to me, I stay east side of Charlotte when I come, but now I kind of move around a little bit, go downtown more. But the biggest difference between Atlanta and Charlotte is really the culture. The culture in Atlanta, especially for us being black, bro, it just feel like you got an extra swag about yourself when you in Atlanta. It's like, bro, like I'm black, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm the majority around here. So I never felt as proud to be a black man than I do in Atlanta, Georgia. And so that's the biggest difference. I'm from Charlotte, but I feel prouder to be me here in Atlanta. And so it's been times that I moved to Atlanta, came back to Charlotte, moved to Atlanta, came back to Charlotte. And when I go back to Charlotte, and then it's home. All my family, my friends are there. But it's just like something pulling on my heartstrings, like, you know what I'm saying, to get back here. And so, man, ain't no place like Atlanta. And I traveled a lot of places in a lot of cities, but the type of swag, the type of feel, what you gonna get into in Atlanta, it's only one place, bro.
Nah, absolutely. So I know one of your biggest roles was you was the senior manager of digital video for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
How did you get that role? That's a huge role, especially for a black man. You don't see that for a lot of sports teams.
Yeah, man. So it started back in 2017. So my best friend Austin, and this is how I met Cam too as well. My best friend Austin, man, we grew up and we made a bet, a pack, and I was just like, if you go to the league, then I'll be your agent, And then I picked up a camera and I was like, well, I'll shoot your documentary. So I started off doing a path to the draft with Austin Duke. Shout out to Austin. And when he ended up going, he ended up being a undrafted free agent with the Panthers. And I was making this content for his page, shooting it. The Panthers seen it and they actually DM me on Instagram. And they DM me and they was like, yo, can you talk? And I was like, of course. I'm at my mama house. I'm like, yeah, I can talk. I got time today. Okay. So shoot. So man, we exchanged the information. I called, they set up a contract for me to come out and shoot their content for training camp. And it stuck like that. So I started shooting the content. They offered me a job like my second or third week shooting the content, and I turned it down. Wow. And I was like, nah, because I literally just started. I was working for somebody. Then I started my own company, OG Collins Media. And I was like, bro, I'm not going to work for nobody no more. And so after that, I was like, I'll take a contracting job. I'll contract with you all. You can be a client, but I can't work full time at the time. And then that's where I met Cam. We met at the lunch counter at training camp. And he was, he just pulled up on my computer, asking for some footage, him and Thomas Davis going back and forth because they battle about everything, like brothers for real. And that's how Amy King, she connected me with Cam, was like, Cam, Omari won't take a job working here, but you just started Iconic Saga, his production company. He was like, maybe he'll contract with you. And Cam was like, man, if you serious, send me email. And so I emailed him that weekend. He literally emails exactly how he types. That's his app. Yeah, exactly. That's his app, Post My Way. And so, we set up a meeting. We set up a meeting that following week. And, did good business, and it was a done deal ever since. And so years later, I still contracted with the Panthers. I worked with the NFL as well. So shot Super Bowls, Pro Bowls, college national championships, NFL honors, like work one-on-one with players during my time. So, and that's why I know it's so good to keep good relationships. So I did my job there at Carolina. I worked well with them. I still, even though they contracted me out, when I showed up, I only didn't bring my camera, but I brought my personality and my spirit there as well. And so it was a new guy by the name of Dan. He came in, and his boss, Bill, who knew me, I was in Texas. I'll never forget. I was in Austin, Texas, shooting some players out there. And I get a phone call from Bill, and he was like, yo, Omari, and this is me contracting still with Iconic Saga, the NFL, and doing other stuff, other people. So he's like, yo, Omari, I got on the phone. Dan came in. He's starting his job from Arizona. He came in from the Cardinals. He was like, he has a wish list of people that he wants to assemble a team when he starts. And you're on this list. I already told him that you're not going to take the job because we offered you a job multiple times that you won't come back to Charlotte. And during that time, I was in a season of transition, right? And I was looking for something new. And just like, and I was contracting, but I kind of wanted some consistency and just wanted to grow with a team. And I was like, yo, what's the offer? Let me know. And so we started talking. I said, well, why don't you bring me to training camp and y'all will fill me out. I'll fill y'all out and we'll figure it out. I went to training camp and it was amazing. Like the team they have there at Carolina was amazing. And by the end of training camp, I'm like, let's lock it in. And so I did a full season with Carolina, and it was a full-time job. During that time, we won an Emmy. So I have an Emmy as a producer.
That's fine.
For a video. Yeah. So it was we actually brought Lou Will. Yeah, not Lou Will. I'm sorry, Lou Young in. Sorry, Lou. I apologize. So we brought Lou Young in, and Lou used to play for the Panthers. Okay. So as y'all see him on social media, like he started off with the Panthers. Like he started off playing, he was an NFL player for some years. So we brought him in and we did a jersey reveal video. So it was a sports promotion Emmy that we won. So we did an amazing job there. Finished the season strong. And like you said, like for a black man to be in that role is different. Even for a black man to be working in certain rooms and areas. Like when you say the NFL, you see a lot of us on the field, but you don't see a lot of us off it. And so when I shot 3 Super Bowls, and so I'm on the sideline, and it's only a handful of us, people, period, that can just shoot it. But then you say us, that's even a smaller group. And so looking around, I'm like, I don't see a lot of me's. You know what I'm saying? And I had the opportunity to shoot Brady's last Super Bowl. I shot Mahomes' first Super Bowl. and I shot the Super Bowl with the LA Rams versus the Bengals. That was my last one I filmed. And even in those spaces, I shot Burrow's national championship with LSU. And so when you do those type of things, it's really like only a certain amount of people that's gonna be there, but really a certain amount of us. And so black people and black men, and so just to be there, I just felt like my dad, like a freedom fighter. You know what I'm saying? And like that was my thing, is like showing up because I knew I was the representation of so many people that wouldn't have the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So it was so cool to be in those rooms, and like I would get pictures from my family because this is the Super Bowl. So at the coin toss, I'm shooting. And my brother and my family, they sending me stuff on Instagram. That's my brother on TV. That's him on TV, bro. That's my brother on the video line. Or like I have pictures in my house of like me filming like photos of like Jay-Z and Blue Ivy, you know what I'm saying? Or Kanye, you know. And when you start seeing all these stars and they sitting front row, and then it's like I'm on the field with it. So you seeing the people, I'm in the locker room, I'm shooting the trophy, I'm right there catching the action. It's like, you know how much these tickets are to get front row seats, and I'm getting paid to actually be lower than front row seats, bro. Like, man, God is the greatest, you know what I'm saying? And so, man, I just thank God for some of the opportunities. And the biggest thing is like, yes, I have skill, I have talent, but some stuff, man, favor ain't fair. You know, and I understand that. And it's just like some of the rooms I'm in and what I'm doing now, even to be speaking, talking to you right now, like favor ain't fair. And like God is the greatest, bro. So, man, I'm just happy to be here and to keep being here and to keep doing stuff and propelling.
So now you've shot some historic events, man. Brady's last Super Bowl,
Yeah.
Mahomes' first Super Bowl, the undefeated LSU season.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most memorable game you got to be a part of and shoot?
Man, I like, so it's differences. And I say differences because I can't pick one. Brady's was special because it was COVID. And I had to shoot from the front row of the stands because they didn't let anybody on the field. So it really wasn't nobody really shooting that game. Mahomes was special because I actually went in the locker room and see them hold the trophy and like see him running around high five. And that was out in Miami. And that's the first time I seen Jay-Z for the first time. And then the one in LA was so dope because it was a home team there and it was so star-studded. Like you look, I'm looking behind Usher right there. I see Gary Owens and he over there like, man, let me get your pass, man, switch with me. I'm like, bro, what? I'm seeing Jay-Z, like I'm seeing 2 Chainz, like so many stars were there. So it was so many different like elements to it. I can't just choose one game. And then, you know, I'm so biased too. One of my favorite games to shoot would be Cam's game back to Charlotte. And that's biased because when Cam came back to Charlotte, it's like I came back home. We went to New England and I moved with him. I lived with Cam at the time. So I'm documenting every day. And I started to work with him every single day. The day he got released from Carolina, we got like a documentary, 86 Nights, that we never released. That hopefully one day we'll release. Look, we putting it out in the atmosphere. It was all 86 nights of him being without a job. And so it showed like everything he was doing between those days.
Maybe when he gets nominated for the Hall of Fame.
There you go. Hall of Fame. There you go. And so during that time, I moved in with him, and then we went to New England when he got picked up there. And then when that call happened that he went to Carolina, I was the first person to kind of shoot once he signed the deal with them. And I remember that night back on Carolina, it was just me and him on the jet flying from Charlotte back to Atlanta because he went to go pack his clothes because he had to go to practice the next morning. So me and him sitting on the jet, and it's just like, bro, I can't believe this happened. I'm filming him, and it's like, bro, we can't believe this happened. Then that's when I got the call, their first home game. And Amy, the same lady that connected me with him the first time, she's like, yo, Omari, we want to have you run out with Cam out the tunnel. So this is his first home game. We're going to announce him, but we want you to run out and film him. And so, man, when my family was there, so many people was there, I felt like he was running out, but I was running out. But I said, we both back. We both back in Charlotte. So man, I would say that was one of my best moments of filming though.
Nah, that's fire. That's fire. So during your time with Iconic Saga, you were overseeing digital content development. What did you learn during that time? One thing you really learned that stuck with you.
Yeah, and still with Iconic Saga, man. Yeah. So during that time, just so much about like how content is constantly evolving, bro. Like, as soon as you think you got something, oh, they came up with another update. Oh, they came out with something else. It's another trend. So even with that, like, yes, stay with the trend, but like you got to be authentic to you. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the biggest thing with Iconic Saga is like uh, the art of storytelling, like never getting away from telling a story, never getting away from like you know really diving deep and telling a story not for yourself, not just for Cam, but like for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Be the voice for the voiceless. And so I think that's one thing I learned. But like also, man, stay in that craft because this, bro, these cats out here, like me shooting or whatever, these cats got so many apps, so much AI. Bro, like you like, kid, how you make that video so fast? When they start calling you you like, hold on now, who you talking to? I got your I got your So like, man, staying on top of your game, bro. And then I still shoot from time to time. Like some pictures I want to drop, like Jonathan Majors did Funky Friday not too long ago, and I had a time like to get in and shoot with him, and I'm like, yeah, that like it's just still staying keeping that fire burning of an artist because I'm an artist at heart. You know what I'm saying? In so many capacities, I'm an artist at heart. So.
Speaking of Funky Friday, you produced, directed, and shot it. How did Funky Friday start, come to be?
Yeah, so now the EP is Kristen Myers, also our president of Iconic Saga, but the origination of it, I helped start it with Cam and the guy David Ricks that was working with us at the time. But when we kicked it off in New Orleans. So I mean not New Orleans, but New England. So we used to have an hour drive. So we lived in Boston by Seaport, and we used to drive an hour to New England every day. It was the hour drive back and forth. So about 2 hours in the car. So during that time, you have traffic, so the drive might be longer. Kane was like, bro, I want to talk about something, bro. I want to get some stuff off my chest, bro. I want to talk about topics. And he was like, all right, he was like, bro, I just want to keep it funky, bro. Every Friday I can, drop it. So he was like, all right, Funky Friday. So we rigged up. We had a car at the time. It was a Lincoln Navigator. And we rigged the car up. And so with GoPro, so we had one behind, like one in front of Cam's seat, one above on one side. And you had me with my cameras crouched down in the seat recording him. And I'm recording him, and he used to drop it on his Instagram. And then we started doing the YouTube. So Funky Friday started literally in the back seat of a car. And then me and Cam just kept rolling them out, being consistent, rolling them out, being consistent, shooting. I would shoot it, edit it, cutting all of those things together and pushing it out. And so when he stopped playing, he did a show with BET called Sip and Smoke. And he sat down with like Steve Harvey, Tiana Taylor, DeBrad, Mr. Magic, DeVal Ellis. Like he had different artists and entertainers sit down at his spot Fellowship in Atlanta. And after that, that's his cigar lounge. Yep, downtown. So Fellowship ATL. If you've never been there, go there, try it. It's not just cigars, it's food, it's drinks. It's a good vibe for sure. But man, we did the interviews there. And when he finished that week of filming, he was like, bro, I really want to tap in on this for real. And so he built out Funky Friday and really started doing the sit down show and started taking it serious. And so obviously the team had to grow when we started doing that. And that was our first IP, like our first show that we developed was Funky Friday. Yeah. That was back in 2020. What is this? 2020.
2020.
We started me, Cam, Waldo. We started Funky Friday, and like me and Cam just kept kicking it.
If you don't mind me asking, how did you get the name Peggy?
So Peggy, man. Yo, so the name Peggy comes from my legs. All right. So Cam says I have skinny legs, kind of like a pig leg. So the thing is with me and Cam, we joke all the time. So like he might joke about my legs, I might joke about his style, the way he dressed, or I might joke about, something that he do. So we all day, every day, it's like he'll say something, I say something. He'll say something, I say something. And that's just the nature of our relationship, like a brother relationship. But Peggy came from my skinny legs, and it happened at the worst time. So we playing basketball doing runs, and he already was talking about skinny legs. But then I was playing ball and my knee buckled, so my knee popped in and out, and I went down. And crazy it happened on the first play. So then David had the camera with instead of helping me up, they taking pictures and videoing, and I'm grabbing my knee. I'm like, he's like, bro, you got a first name, last name, Peggy Buckle. Peggy Buckle, bro. So he was like, man, we're gonna call you Peggy for short, Peg for even shorter. So like, like that's me, man. I just like, and I had to switch it around for the ladies. I'm like, why they call you Peg, man? They call me Peg for my third leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm blessed by the best, baby. You know what I mean? So I had to switch it around. You know what I'm saying? Take lemons and make lemonade, bro. They try to limit me out. Yeah, so that's it, bro.
Oh my goodness. So I want to know how you got into podcasting. Were you always comfortable to be in front of the camera, or did it take some time to get into that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I started, man, at North Carolina Central University, and I started my show Eagle Access. I was in front of the camera. Well, I did everything. So I interviewed Big Crit, YG during that time, Nikki Giovanni. Like I interviewed everybody that came to our campus. I would interview them, and then I think during that COVID time, I was telling Cam. I remember we was at the house, and he was like, "Peggy, man, what you want to do?" I was like, "Bro, I want to be in front of the camera. I'm gonna be in front of the camera." And he was like, "Okay, grab that camera and keep shooting." You know what I'm saying? Joking. And so we kept nudging him like, Cam, you need to talk about sports. You need to talk about sports. And so 2 weeks before the 2023 football season, the 2023 football season, we was like, bro, Cam, let's do the show, man. We're gonna call it 4th and 1. And I came up with the name 4th and 1. Me and Brendan was sitting there, and he's a producer there on 4th and 1. And we were at the condo, and he was like, "What we gonna name it?" And we coming up with names. I'm like, 4th and 1. And he was like, "Oh yeah, that's." We wrote it down and had a hit to it. And so 4th and 1 with Cam Newton. And so it started with just Cam on camera, just kind of like how it is now. It's like I was behind the scenes asking the questions, and he was just on camera, just talking. And it got to a point as the show got momentum, everybody was like, bro, who are you talking to? Who is Peggy? And they would ask him that. He was like, bro, I'm going to the gym. I'm going out and about. People like, bro, who Peggy, bro? Who Peggy, bro? Let me see who Peggy. And so the team got to a point. They was like, bro, just put a camera on him. So they gave me a GoPro. And I just thought I went on. Like that's all I needed. Just you know what I'm saying? Just like you, all I needed is just a little kerosene and whoosh. So it's like, bro, like they gave me that GoPro, and they upgraded me to a real camera. You know what I'm saying? Started with humble beginnings. So, man, and me and Cam's relationship back and forth, our banter, is just like how we would talk at the crib, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so this 4th and 1 is a sports adjacent show. So we talk about hard hitting facts in sports, but we talk about, bro had them all white ones. Can you remember when you got your first pair of all white ones? I got mine from the discount mall off of Old Nat. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna go deep, like we're gonna dive deep, and we'll go anywhere, anything around the game of sports and life, bro. So like being in front of the camera is that I feel like I'm at home. You know what I mean? I feel lively here, and I love to use my voice as an instrument to like make people laugh, speak life into people. And I do that on my own platform and like inform people, even to move the show on, like in the grow in that aspect. So, man, I think I know that I found my calling, bro. And I'm in a comfortable spot, and I'm excited for the lights to grow even brighter. And so like I'm just here, bro. I'm blessed, and I'm just really a vessel for God, bro. And it ain't nothing but God to be in this situation. And I would say that all the time, even when I was shooting, I would see older people, older guys, and older women on the sideline. They still doing the same thing they always was doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. But just for me and my growth and what God had for me, it was just like, bro, you here. Now I'm moving you here. Now I'm putting you here. Now I'm gonna knock you up here. And so I don't even know what's next. Like I know I want to host, and I know I want to have a show and have my own show and keep doing the show with Cam and act, like, you know what I'm saying, entertain, do live shows. And we got a live show this Thursday, on YouTube. So for the draft. And so I don't want to limit myself. You know what I'm saying? I want to share my personality and all the facets of my personality with the world. So starting with podcasting, and I'm not putting a limitation on where I'm gonna go next.
Yeah, and I will say they made a smart decision putting that GoPro on you. You feel me? Like you are very quick witted. Like you say, you and Cam have a great banter, a great rapport. Where you will roast him on camera or not, and you're not scared to say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't hold your tongue. So it's beautiful to see that. But also too, you're just funny. Like, bro, I seen a clip the other day. I think it was really recent. Like, you was shirtless, and arguing about, yelling about something. You got so much energy about something, bro. Like, are those scripted moments, or are you kind of just? It's just you. It's just Peggy today,
bro. It ain't no script. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got points of topics of we're gonna talk about this, and I have facts. But like that banter or them screams, them laughs, them yells, them tent. No, bro, you can't script that. You can't write that. And so some people ask me, bro, how y'all do it? Like, y'all practice, bro. We never practice a day, and that's probably something that we need to do. But we never practice because it's like, bro, the lights come on, it's time to perform, bro. And it's just natural. It's like I'm not acting. You know what I'm saying? Now, Peggy is a character on that show, who Omari is. Omari got so many other lanes and facets to him. You know what I mean? So, like, but who I am and Cam know me as Omari. You know what I'm saying? And he knows Omari. Obviously, the world knows me as Peggy, but I want them to know who Omari is as well. You know, and so that's really what the journey I'm on too, as I grow both names.
Now, we gonna dive into that, but I wanted to talk about a very viral moment on 4th and 1 from years ago. I remember the game manager segment.
Mm-hmm.
The game manager segment. And what I didn't like about it, I feel like the narrative, just because Cam said it, it got switched into a point where they were disrespecting what Cam had done.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you seen on First Take and seen Stephen A and all these other people saying stuff?
Well, you first are thankful that they even thought about it to take it and clip it, right? So 4th and 1, you know, obviously the page is growing, but it's not like we're not on ESPN, CBS Sports, or whatever. So the fact that they taking that and using it, it really shows like the power that you have. You know what I'm saying? That your mic is loud. So first of all, knowing that the mic is on and it's loud, it makes you think, all right, cool. What you gonna do with this while you have it? Everybody got their window. I don't care who you are. Everybody got their window. But really staying into the game manager and the game changer, I think people misconstrued it. Like it was more on the style of play versus the limitations of the player. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like Jalen Hurts at the time, he was like, bro, at the time he was saying he was a game manager because you have so many people around you. The game you don't have to do what a Lamar Jackson had to do, or you don't have to do what other people have to do because you have so many people that don't have to put that type of stress on you. So I think people took it as a disrespect. Players DM'd him, players, or even when they didn't mention him, like younger players or players in general mentioned it, and it went like wildfire, and they commented and DM'd and had things to say. But it was more or less based off of your playing style, the limitations of your play. And so, everybody don't have to do everything. You know what I mean? Some people are blessed with to have a great team around them. You know what I'm saying? And even if you have a great team around you, you still have the ability to change the game in certain ways. And sometimes some players didn't really change the game. Like they don't take over the game. They just don't mess it up, but they don't take it over. And so I think one thing about Cam, one thing that he does well is tell the truth. Whether you like it or you love it or you hate it, you gotta respect it. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing too, even with me now, is like he's helping me walk into that path. It's like, bro, you gotta love it, like it, or respect it, or hate it. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is, and you're a straight shooter. So I mean, game manager, game changer really turned us up, especially when we was saying that and then going into Super Bowl. It was like game manager, game changer. Which one are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's still people still say it. So it's something that will go down in the test of time of like, which one are you? You might need to run that back.
All right, bring that back for sure. But we know the energetic, colorful Peggy on camera. Who's Omari off the camera?
Man, Omari off the camera is an artist. He's a person that loves family and friends. He is just a creative, bro. Like I really get turned up by creating in different capacities, whether it's like, man, me painting a room in my house, me taking a photo, me editing, me, speaking to somebody. I'm really a person that falls in love with pouring life into people. I get refueled by pouring life and speaking to people. Like, bro, a dude just stopped me this past weekend. I'm literally just trying to go get something to eat on Easter, and I'm walking to my car, and he got his window down. Peggy, what's up, bro? Come on. I'm like, good to see you, brother. I'm about to try to get home to get some food. He like, no, bro. You gotta stop. Hold on. I done seen Peg out here in these streets. Boy, let me talk to you. I said that, bro. 15 minutes later, bro, this dude gave me a life story. I sat there and talked to him. I found out it was his birthday. He was turning 44. Brother, happy birthday to you. But man, like I really enjoy pouring life into people. Obviously, you can't do it as much because you got your own life. But speaking to kids, I was able to speak to some kids at Usher's new look, like his foundation, the Boys and Girls Club. Like I felt so after speaking that whole time. I'm sorry, after speaking that whole time, most people would be like, "I'm tired." I was geeked up. I'm like, "Bro, I want to do this again." So like, man, I'm a motivator, bro. I'm a lover, man of God. Like I'm a person that just go off of good vibes and good energy. Like, don't let stuff just hold on to me. Like, just shake it off. And I'm a person that really want to continue to speak out and speak to people and like really show love to people, and I'm the voice of the people, especially in regards to fourth and one. But just in life, I want to be the voice of myself, but to be the voice of the people too as well. And it's like what's so amazing. I have had the ability to be in so many spots and rooms as in so many capacities. Now I show up as Peggy, but one time I showed up as a fan. One time I showed up as Cam's photographer. One time I just showed up as head of brand development for Cam, and or this room I showed up as a producer, and now I'm showing up as talent, and I know what it feels to be so many people in so many places, which also helps me show love to so many people, whether you the janitor, whether you the executive producer, whether you the COO, whether you the assistant. Bro, I've literally done. I used to be a janitor in college, bro. That's how I paid for my summer school. Bro, I know how to strip, wax, buff floors, bro. I know how to clean these toilets. Bro, I know I literally you tell me, bro, in that summer I was buffing floors and cleaning toilets. And by the fall, I was Mr. North Carolina Central University, hosting a podcast, my face on the billboard in Durham, North Carolina. And it's the same dude that was picking up trash and did it with the same type of energy that I'm doing that with. The same way I shoot photos is the same way that you get me on this mic and I'm able to show love and I'm doing it 110%. That's me. I can't cut me off. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have no switch with that. I'm gonna give you 110%. And so if you ever ask like who is Omari, that's him. Like you know what I'm saying? So
That was an excellent breakdown. So I guess you're an ideal person to ask this question to. What does it take to have a successful podcast?
Man.
Successful YouTube series.
A successful YouTube series, number one, it takes a vision, it takes consistency, and it takes a team. Um, and that's the biggest thing. The third was the hardest thing for me to get a team. A lot of stuff that I was saying I did. Like, oh, I did this. I knew how to do everything. So you get that in your mind, you act like you're an octopus, and like you got eight hands, eight tentacles, and it's like, bro, there's only one of you. There's only two hands. You only can do one thing at one time. And so when I started to delegate and trust and allow people to do this, all right, I don't have to edit it. Oh, I don't have to shoot it. You know what I'm saying? I can just focus on me. Okay, cool. I'm gonna create the show, but I'm gonna create the show with somebody else. Everything don't have to be you. And so honestly, bro, you can go fast by yourself, but you can go far with others. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
And so that's what I really learned, and that's what it takes to really to have a successful podcast. Have a vision, be consistent, have a team, and just be authentic to who you are. That's it, man. So many other people are doing them, and I'm not saying grab a little idea from this person, that person, do that. But what fits you, you gotta do you, because you only can do you best, bro. Yeah.
Tell us about OG Collins Confessionals, man.
Yeah, so that's the Omari side. You know what I'm saying? So OG Collins Confessionals is pretty much me in front of the camera, just me, just giving motivation, giving just truth, giving vulnerability to the world. And I know everybody see Peggy, but Omari, this is the vulnerable side of me. This is the truth part of me. This is what I'm really going through in life. This is me motivating you that morning during your day. This is something that you feeling low. And let me go back to what OG said, bro. Let me go back to what OG said. Let me hear his voice. I need to pick me up. Let me get my reminder. That's what OG Collins Confessional is, and I want to expand that into being able to be a full live, show. And I want to be an author one day, and show myself in so many capacities, bro. And like I hate limitations. That's why I always just like. That's why me doing what I do now works for me because I don't feel limited. You know what I'm saying? Anything that constricts me to something, I'm like, I can't do it. You know what I mean? And so I think OG Collins Confessionals can have wings that it can fly anywhere. And so if you haven't seen it, follow me on OG Collins. All right, on Instagram, Facebook, Omari Collins. I'm gonna get my TikTok going, so that's Omari Collins, OG Collins, and dropping my confessional, OG Collins Confessionals. Make sure you tap into that.
Man, I just want to say, Omari, thank you so much for stepping into the Star Studio, man. Talking some football with us, talking some podcasting with us, talking some 4th and 1 with us, and of course, talking some Peggy with us, man.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
exactly who you are. So I just want to say I really appreciate you, man. You're doing amazing work.
Yeah.
Just keep going up, bro. You're already a star, but you're gonna be one of the biggest, bro. Your energy is infectious. I love it, bro. I see why 4th and 1 popping. You feel me?
Man, thank you, bro. I thank y'all, man. Thank you, Rolling Out, for having me so much, man. I really appreciate y'all. And bro, this is just the first, bro. I want y'all to have me back, bro. If I did good, make sure y'all have me back, bro, because I want to tell more stories. And next time I sit down here, bro, it's gonna be even higher, bro. And I'm not even speaking that for myself, but the person watching this, you're gonna be even higher too as well. So, man, I'll look to see you soon. Thank y'all for having me.
Appreciate you, Peggy. We rolling out. Hello.
Peace.
That shit was fire.